What is up? Get hyped. All right, so today we have this Chevy 2500 sitting right here. We're going to be doing all ceramic. We have 35% going on the windshield, 20% on the front doors, and then 5 over factory 20 on the back. Back is a little optional, but going in that route is the best dark look, but still functional in my opinion. So if you want to kind of throw a little caution to the wind, but you want it to still be functional, 35% on the windshield is a great look. 20% on those front doors give you a good amount of privacy, but still easy enough to see out of. And then with the back, that's where it's optional. So doing limo or doing limo over 20, both of them are going to look basically the same on the outside, just more inside if you want it to be like dark or you want it to be dark. So this is going to be fun. Get hyped. I'll put them on the ceiling. Because why not? How you guys doing? I gotta let me shoot them the link real quick. Teach you on the windshield today? What are we teaching you on the windshield? Are we teaching you everything? Because that's what we do. Trying to make sure I send out links to the live stream for the people that are getting it done. This is a birthday present too. This is super cool. So we did another one of their friends' vehicles here on stream. They did all ceramic too. They went 5% with dark on the windshield too. All right. So because we got a lot of work to do, I suppose we should probably just jump into it. Need to know how to shrink mostly? Okay. Yeah, we can. Give me a reminder when we go to do the windshield. Windshield is typically the last thing that we do. We knock out everything else, and we finish it up with the windshield. So, have you ever had any problems putting ceramic on windshield with it not sticking to the bottom? Can't say that I have. There's been a couple of times on like some Jeeps that I've had some film roll back off the windows, but it could be one of two things. Either the adhesive on the film, or there could be some type of like some manufacturer residue on the ceramic borders. So I've kind of seen that on some different cars. But usually it just takes some extra heat and you can get it to knock down, or you clean it with like some rubbing alcohol before you go to tint it. With Geo. That's interesting. No, I actually haven't had that because they have a really pretty aggressive adhesive. I'd use could be a little overshrunk, but I would think there might be some residue there. Honestly, I'm not sure. That's no good. But yeah, there definitely could be some residue or something there. That'd be the first thing that I would check anyways. All right, so let's put this crazy contraption on. Let's test. Oh, we gotta turn this on. Check. No. Are we boop? GoPro. Sweet. All right, so this is the truck. This is looking pretty awesome. Really clean, too. I like that. So let's grab we got to get our tool belt. We got to tape up some seals first. We got to do a little bit of prep work. Then we're going to jump into the fun bit. When you unroll the film from the box, lay it on the windows, do you need to lay it down in a certain direction, or does it not matter? No, there is a certain direction, actually. So you always have to, at least the direction that you shrink, always has to be in the same direction that the roll is facing. So if I unroll it like this onto the window, then I need to shrink like on the top or the bottom. So if I flip it sideways, then I shrink on the sides. So you don't have to put it one way or the other, but you have to shrink it according with the roll anyways. Man, this truck makes me feel like a short dude. I'm already on my tiptoes. I think we're gonna have to use a step stool for some of this. What happens if you shrink the wrong way? At the end of the stream yesterday, we kind of talked about it. So if you shrink the wrong way, the film will peak together rather than shrink and smooth out. So basically think of it like the way that you unroll the film onto the glass, it's been like stretched in this direction. And when you shrink it, it contracts back this way. When you shrink it up and down, it just goes, like, it just peaks together in a gross way. You can try it and see. It's always good to kind of like play around with it. Well, they have like an indent up there. I thought they had like a little mini sunroof back there for a second. We're decorating this with some lows. Ugh. But yeah, as for shades, we're doing 35 on the shield, 20 on the sides, or on the front sides, and then 5 over the factory. I like this look a lot. Sweet. Ugh. Those door panels stain a lot? I haven't really had any problems with these ones. Like they'll show, so a lot of door panels will show like streaks from soapy solution and stuff, and you can wipe it off and it's not a problem. I like to cover them a lot. Oh, it's gonna do this thing where all the pegs are now gonna go back up. So this is something extra that I do right now. Put a tape line at the top, and then it gives the plastic something better to grab. So if we're doing this, we might find a different plastic for the sides or for the paneling. But for now, this is a little thing that we can do right now. Then I'll tape up the sides too. Something extra that helps with water running down the panels and whatnot. So this is sheathing tape. It comes in a variety of different brands, and this one, it seems an awful lot like a little bit cheaper version of the tuck tape. I just don't have tuck tape on hand, and I was looking for something that was easier to come by. So I'm gonna find something else. This stuff still works great. There's just something about Lowe's all over it that's like, okay. But this type of adhesive, it peels clean and it sticks really well to like door panels and stuff like that. So door panels, they'll have any number of different little protectants on them and things that keep stuff from sticking to them. So then you got to find something to stick to something that's not made for something to stick to it. Which is why we've all had such a fun time trying to find door protection. And I do it in layers just because it's easier for me to kind of, instead of like one long stretch of tape, doing a couple of them and overlapping them, it's just quicker for me to get where it needs to go. A little string ding right there. Sweet. So that is most of it. We'll put the, oh, when you put that down, do they all lock then? Oh, how about that? When you drop that peg, all the pegs go down. Oh, we need the key. So ignition or accessory has to go on. Ah, I did it again. Pegs popping up. So on GMs, press and hold the button for like 5 seconds. You'll hear initial ding, ding, ding. Everything will go silent, like turning off a computer. Like hard turning off a computer. It's just hold for 5 seconds. You'll hear an initial 3 beeps. It'll all go silent. And then it'll look like nothing's going to happen, and then everything kicks on. So doing that will keep everything on for longer than like 5 minutes. Because if you just turn on the accessory, you're going to be running back and forth every 5 minutes. It'll drive you crazy. So don't do it that way. There's always 2 modes, or at least there should always be. There's always like accessory and then ignition. You don't think about ever going back to a plotter? So on like that back window, yeah. On the doors, no. It's about as far as that goes. I mean, I would. I'd keep a plotter on standby, and I'd probably load it up, and I'd cut out that back window, and it'd make that easier. And then I'd cut out certain things, but in terms of just like cutting out all the doors, I don't think so. I mean, and we're set up to spend extra good time on cars, so it's not about just raw speed. It's about making sure the job looks nice. Where's my coffee? Oh, I have to do a thing too. When you buy a plotter, do you have to pay for the software? Yeah, and they're... maybe it'll work. Yeah, it's a subscription. So the plotter is just the plotter, and Tint software is always a subscription. Some film brands will give you free software for using their film, but that's the hook. They want you to use their film. So the annoying catch across the industry with plotter software, and why I also don't want to be very dependent on it, is every software is different, and every pattern is different in their respective softwares. So if I cut out patterns for this 2500 in something like Film and Vinyl Designs, or I cut it out in XPEL, or I cut it out in TrueCut They're going to be different in every software. Little differences. Some of them are good. Some of them suck. So even with, you spring for a plotter and software, you're having a good time, you cut out your first patterns, you're all geeked, got that sucker fine-tuned, then you go to line it up on the window and then you wonder what the hell happened when your pattern is about 1/4 of an inch short on the front edge. All right, so we need some film. Oh, I like that comment. Ordered a new Roland plotter. Roland built that plotter. The rep said Roland built the plotter with window tint in mind. Not how true that is. Yeah, I have no idea how true that is or not. There's a lot to that industry. There's plotters for vinyl. There's plotters for window tint. Like the machines, they're all used for like so many different purposes, material cutting and whatnot. Architectural. So there's big blueprint printers, but you also could put a pen on it and like mark stuff with a plotter. Like they've got so many uses. So I couldn't tell you either. Yeah, this is what we need. 20. Do we have a short 20? We do. Do we use a short 20 or do 30? Do we screw ourselves up a little bit? All right, let's do that. Let's do it the more straightforward way. Okay, so I have a short 20 and a long 20. So on doors like this, these are taller doors. It's smart to use a 24, but you can also use a 36-inch and do it sideways. But you just have to shrink on the side. So we're going to be doing that on the back doors, actually. We're going to be doing a 36-inch on the back doors, 24 on the front. And you'll see here, we're going to have to remind ourselves to shrink the front doors at the bottom and the back doors on the sides. So I got the roll like this. You can see we're vertical. So now I need to shrink along the bottom. You have to shrink in the same orientation as the roll. So if I unrolled it like this and I shrank on the sides, it'd be an utter mess. Do you ever have customers that want to watch you work the entire time? I used to, and every once in a while I get somebody that hangs out with me back here if I'm not streaming, and that's fine. I don't mind. It used to bug me, but we also do live streaming now, so like everything I do is just like, I mean, even if you're standing here watching, you can't get a better view than this right here. Maybe a little clearer. But yeah, it would definitely like be kind of annoying if somebody's just like standing over your shoulder watching. That's why you have a waiting room though. So if it bugs you, just have to tell them to go up front. With the shop, I mean, you really shouldn't have customers in the back anyways. For insurance reasons. You know, they slip and fall in the back. You have shop things laying around, they trip, then you get sued. So it's a great reason to tell them to not wait in the back if that bothers you. But, it's fine. So it more used to bug me when I was like in the beginning. But they're just curious. Do you tell the customers beforehand they can see the live stream? I'm doing that a lot more now. I would definitely mention it here and there, but it wasn't just because like I didn't mind. Like I think it's cool when they want to watch. I just kind of thought some of them weren't interested, so I didn't always make it a point to tell them. But now it seems like there's a lot more people that definitely appreciate it. So we're mentioning it. a lot more, because this is my job. This is what I do. So it's nice to know that other people find it at least mildly interesting. Okay, I had to get a step stool just to make sure I cut this right. What do I think about Lexan? It's been a minute since I ranted about that film, huh? It's fine for what it is. I just want people to shoot for better stuff, that's all. I mean, it's hard to argue with the price of the film. But I wouldn't run my business off of it. And I will say, chances are, if your budget about the film that you're installing, you're probably budgeting your own prices too. And that's like, that's fine if that's the business that you want to run. It's not the business that I want to run, so. If you're doing, you know, it's just $100 tint jobs make life a little difficult. You got material, there's only so many cars you can do in a day. Generally, you have to get a lot more work done. And a lot of the people that you're catering to sometimes are extra picky about that $100 job. So you're just trying to slam out work, and then all of a sudden you got people like a millimeter away from it going like, what's this? What's that? And it's like, it's a little unfair to you as a business because your pricing doesn't allow you to take a lot of time on a car. So it would take much more time to go back and redo it. Come on, just this little guy right there. There. Where's my... There we go. What would you recommend as a beginner's budget film that's good quality? I recommend Tint Depot, but if you're going for the higher quality stuff, I mean, Geo is going to be pretty similar to that. Like, you're not saving a lot per car by going like with like Lexan. You are overall like, okay, it'll be like half the film cost, and that sounds like a lot, but when you break it down to the work that you're doing per car, it's not a lot. It's really not. But Tint Depot is a great resource. Sun Distributing is a great resource. And then GeoShield, all of those. I recommend all of those. So Tint Depot has stuff that is a little bit more budget friendly. And they also have room to go up from there. So they do reverse branding. They put high quality films under the Tint Depot name. Sounds a little bit like Home Depot, but I love them. Got a little bit, there we go. So this one, what we're doing is we're cutting this one out differently because we're using a long roll. So we save a little bit of film by doing it this way. I just don't have a short roll in limo. So that is why we're cutting it out this way versus getting a short roll and cutting it out vertically. So I just gotta order some extra limo. I haven't installed a ton of ceramic in limo, but now we've been doing more of it. So yeah, we still got plenty for that back. Good deal. Solar protection film. I think I've heard of them in like my Facebook group, and that's about it. So I don't know much about them. I don't know much about them, unfortunately. There's gonna be a fair amount of companies like that too. Just there's only so many places to get film from, but there's an infinite amount more of brand names. And it's kind of just like, I don't know where they get their film from. They just like, hey, I hope it works for you. So with Geo, I know where it comes from. A lot of good rep companies source from the same place. They don't have all the same. They don't have the same films, but they all source from the same place. So this one, yeah, this one goes straight up too. Whoa! Oh, that was the first one. Thank you. God. I didn't think that'd scare me. That scares me. So cool. What timing?
Swallogang super chatted $4.99. I can't watch Busy at the glass shop this morning, but hey, I'll watch later.
Swolgang! Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for scaring the hell out of me, too. $5. Much appreciated, man. So fun. Yeah, so I put them up here now. So that's a thing. Brackets. Brackets came in. You're running NOS in your shop? Yes, that's what it is. It's the NOS cannons. God, that'd be expensive, wouldn't it? I was looking into CO2 machines for that same effect. CO2? Whew, that's expensive. So a full like 30-gallon tank of CO2 would be like $100-something bucks. And to get a similar effect, you use like a pound per second or something like that, they said. A pound to like 2 pounds, or a pound per like second to 2 seconds, based on your fire rate. So within a matter of like 30 seconds, it would all be gone. Those last longer, thankfully. I don't know how long, but longer. I was gonna do Lexington to practice, then go big. Check out Tint Depot. So I totally don't like. It's all good. Save some money while you're practicing. It's great. Make sure it's a 1.5 mil film. The only struggle with Lexan is shrinking. So it has an inherent haze issue with it. But just make sure, I thought so. I was like, I bet this pattern is upside down. And I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, maybe it's not. Let's flip it upside down. I put it on the board, and this thing's so rectangular that it totally threw me off. Oh, okay, so that's way wrong. All right, so it's the other way. That hasn't happened to me in a while, but this thing's so squared off, I got flipped around. Shrinking Lexan is bad. It's just slower and more difficult. I don't recommend them. Their customer support is bad. Well, they don't. See, this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about with pricing. They can't afford good customer service. They're high volume, low margins. That's why. You get your rolls cheap from them, and whatever you get, like, you just got to kind of make it work. So if you have a bad roll, order another one. It was cheap. Just keep going with it. If they're out of stock, so with a film company, it's not just about pricing. It's about the support that is behind it. So when you're spending more, you hope that there's extra little things that at least are implied with it, and good customer support, fast film delivery, stuff like that. That's definitely up there, because I know how a lot of you guys order. It's trust me, it's last minute. Thursday night comes around, or Friday, and then you're going into the weekend and you haven't ordered film yet, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta order, I'm not gonna have anything. Well, sometimes you order, and it'll take 2-3 days to get out the door. Geo treats your film like it's an emergency, basically every time. So when you need something, and you give them money, they get that shit out the door quick. What? Nick with the 2. Want an afternoon appointment for today? Lincoln Continental.
Nick Mace super chatted $2.
Hang on.
Want an afternoon
Canon.
appointment for today? Link Continental.
Is that like... You didn't get a Lincoln Continental, did you? You didn't surprise me with a Lincoln. This is like a client? And what are we doing? You can call me too. That's totally okay. I'll try and make sure that I keep this around if I have time. Whoa! Daniel Reyna with the 10.
Super chatted $9.99. Good morning, Master Matt. Must have my man.
Daniel Reyna with the 10. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I did these normal. Okay, so 1 second. I'll answer the Lincoln question just a second. Sorry, a lot just happened all at the same time. So I gotta remember, shrinking these, normal snap shrinking because the way we rolled it. Now this, we rolled it the other way, so I moved all the fingers to this side, and also these edges are really big. So now I'm snapping this on the side, which is the same thing as snapping on the bottom. I just have to do it this way on this window because I used a longer roll and I flipped it sideways, so then I have to shrink sideways. That's all. If I used a short roll, rolled it this way, then I'd be shrinking on the bottom. Lincoln Continental. Oh, what year? Pending if you have time. What year's the Lincoln? Is it like a new one? Oh, I actually need this. I hate doing this. Hang on. I just want to know a couple things. Canon. Oh, I missed the phone call. All right. I'm calling you back.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Hey, say hey to chat.
Hello. Yeah, it's
Chat, this is Nick.
They just called, so I was just curious because they work during the week, so weekends work better.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to see if you wanted to, since this afternoon looks free, if you wanted to plug it in. It's like a 2017, I think.
2017. Okay.
And they're thinking probably carbon, but to be determined.
What? Sorry, I just saw that. Yes, he have time. Did you type under Tint Studio? Oh, you know what? I bet that was. I bet that. Sorry, that weirded me out. I bet that was my wife.
All good.
Yeah, we could do it. Have him come in at 2:00 then.
Okay, I'll give him a call back. Yeah, we were trying to figure out the time, so I'll give him a call back for 2, and I'll send you a message if that's confirmed. But all good.
Okay.
Hello, chat.
Chad, that's Nick. He helps with all the appointments and stuff. He's a big help.
Okay, bye.
Bye. God, that was so weird. I saw like I thought, man, that was weird. Not the appointment. I had somebody try and copy my username before, so it was it weirded me out a little bit to see it up there, and I didn't type it. Oh, see? We started to shrink on the wrong side. Remember, I gotta shrink these on the bottom, and I gotta shrink those on the side. So it starts to go all funny if we shrink it the wrong way. It's not ruined, it's just I have to shrink a little bit more off the bottom now. Could be ruined, but we'll find out here pretty quick. That's what happens when I get distracted. So instead of pulling side to side, it'll all peek together and go all weird. So let me just see. Do you use Tint Wiz? I do. They're very helpful. We just had, I gotta talk to Nick about this one too. So one of the super helpful things is proposals. I just saw a proposal for a Focus ST16 that approved for like an $825 proposal. And I was like, what the heck are we doing on that thing that's $825? And I guess there's a full removal involved, so that's cool. But that's one big reason why it's helpful is the proposals feature. So proposals basically mean it gives you like this nice looking template to show all the options that you wanna, like somebody is like, hey, I'm interested in getting my full car tinted. I'm not sure what film to go with. I'm not sure what options you have available. And then it gives you the ability to show everything customized for that car and that client basically. So you can attach pictures, you can attach all the films, you can attach all the pricing, and that's like, you can send just like a blanket pricing sheet, but this is specific to their car. Yeah, I feel short. Ah, why did we do that? Whenever I unroll this stuff, oh, we saved it. Whenever I unroll this stuff and I just kind of let it keep unrolling, it spins back around. Ruins a good like 5-6 inches of plastic. So this, see? Now it all sticks. Nice, everything's covered. I like it. Because one thing we like to do is take care of all the vehicles that come in here, and some of them will have stitching right in there. So these panels are generally fine. They're not on my list of cars I'd be worried about swelling around the stitching, but we still want to take care of them, right? Oh yeah, this one. No, this, yes, this, that's what I'm looking for. Where do I keep my clay in? So I'll usually empty out the water. I got in the habit over the wintertime of leaving it in like a lukewarm, warm bath, warm water. And I do that because it keeps the clay a little bit softer. Glacade clay bars are a little bit harder. So they hold up really well when you're using them on glass, but when you're trying to like clean them and massage all the crap out of them, you want to keep them warm, and then in the winter time, that's where it's like they turn into, they're a little bit harder when they're cold, so helps with that. You know, I've been looking at limo so long that 20 looks light. It's not. It just seemed like it looked light for a second. Wow!
Shane Neufeld super chatted $4.01.
There's a few. Okay. Let me
Ken
back
Glass
up here a
super
minute.
chatted $1.99. Is Sean selling your glass ad or his own need?
Yeah. So there's a couple. Thank you. Much appreciated, both of those. So one of them, Ken Glass with the 2. Oh, first, thank you, Shane with the 5. No message attached to it. Really? Oh, thank you. Continental and Carbon is confirmed, and they need to drop at 1:30. Okay, noted. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then Ken with the 2. Is Sean selling your glass aid? No, he's selling 3M fine line pinstriping, as far as I know. It's different. It irked me when he was calling it glass aid, but I don't mind that he's using something different for a similar effect. But none of the 3M vinyl products, or pretty much anybody's vinyl products, is as thick as glass aid is. So if you just need a pinstriping tape for the line, I mean, there's a whole bunch of pinstriping out there. Pinstriping's been available forever. That's nothing new. But he was calling it glass aid for a minute there, so that was kind of shitty. Go piggyback off of another brand name. Be a little bit more original, please. Thanks. But thank you for the supers. I appreciate them. I hear fog behind me. So when we pull in a vehicle, though, for a windshield, we face this way so we don't see them. Just because it's easier for me to face this way. So I got a Continental for carbon. That would have been an interesting one to stream. I'm not going to stream it. I'm going to do that one off stream. Interesting thing about the Continentals is that is going to be one of the few cars where I pulled just the front seals. They've got really funky shaped windows, and the seals need a little tool to remove them. So I actually should make that into like a small video, because that one would be really helpful. Those cars have really funky shaped front doors and mirrors that get in the way, and this edge on the front on a Continental is about this big. So I might just record it and then post it later. But you guys see that? I'm not super great at answering phones. Whoa, my God! Thank you. I'm waiting for it to pop up so I don't talk over it. It'll pop up sometime, right? There it is. Wow, what a delay. Stream elements falling behind.
Washington Korea super chatted $5. How come sometimes you use blades to clean the glass and other times you only use a scrub pad of clay bar only?
I love that voice. Washington with a 5, thank you. Was that a door? No? Okay. So, I'll use different things, sometimes for convenience and sometimes because I get distracted. And sometimes there's legitimate reasons. So, for the razor blades, we had a small sticker here that we had to remove. And then, so I have a razor blade in my hand. And so just going over the rest of it with the razor blade that I have is totally fine. But you can do either. Razor blades are really good for adhesive. Scrub pads and clay bars are good for just general grime. So as soon as I have like a sticky on the window, I'll typically use like a full razor blade. But sometimes I'm just a little scatterbrained too with what I do. But in that case, little sticker here. (2015) BMW convertible. Back window doesn't roll the way when the top is down. I would ask the Facebook group. Offhand, I don't know what BMW or what you can do. I would post in the Facebook group and see if there's a trick to getting that window to go all the way up. So window tint stuff on Facebook. The Window Tint Stuff Facebook group is a really, really good resource. So if you guys have lots of questions while I'm not here, literally thousands of other tinners are all posting and talking and helping each other out. So it allows you to post pictures too, which is really nice. Pictures, videos, show off your work. That type of good stuff. Yeah, offhand, I'm not sure. So, this one doesn't have like a sticker on it. It just had that little one on the front door. So I'm probably not going to use a razor, but I do have it here, so I wouldn't be surprised if I just picked it up and used it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I just, you know, sometimes it happens. Aw, no worries on the super chat. Okay, so Glassade question. Yeah, I put it where I'm going to cut and then cut in the middle. So I line the border with the Glassade. So the inside of the Glassade edge is on basically the outside of that dot matrix edge. And then I'll cut on the Glassade. The reason I cut on the Glassade and why it's a thing is because it helps keep the glass safe. So I don't want to take a blade directly to that back window. Always afraid of little scratches and stuff now. So there's times, like, if you're careful, there's still lots of people that cut on glass, and I'll do it from time to time. You'll be fine. But yeah, there'll be times when you do cut on glass. Just be really careful about it. I just don't want to do it all the time.
Hey man, nice shot, super chatted $5. Thank you, smile.
Hey man, nice shot. Thank you. Thank you for the oh my god.
Clash super chatted $4.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that one.
Hello Matt, I've been trying to buy Glassade but is out of stock for quite a while now. Are you not making it anymore or is just for now?
We have quick dissipating fog machines now. That's what that spray is. So it's just a cool effect for the super chats. Thank you guys so much. 1 second. I have to read that super chat because I was talking over it. But I will answer it. It was a Glassade question. I heard that much. We sprung a leak. That's what that was. Yeah, they're new additions, and I mounted them right up there. It's because we don't have the balloon right now. Which still will probably make a cameo appearance here and there. Are you the first one to use something for an outline, or do you get the idea from somewhere else? So I had I talked to other tinters, and so we kind of had like some random ideas about like masking tape and stuff. But what I looked at it more was for protection. I think it's like, it's nice to be able to see where you're going to cut, there's certain situations where it would be really helpful. But for the whole protection and wraparound idea that way, like for the entirety of the window, that was all something I figured out on my own. I know I got that one super chat there. Let me wipe this one down. Woo. Yeah, that's that's one reason why 20 looked a little light. It's not gonna look light when you button everything up. It's just from one window to the next. 20 on the front, and then 5 over factory on the back. Yeah, it's gonna look a little dark. Where was that? Clash with the 5. I've been trying to buy Glass Aid, but it's out of stock for quite a while. You're not making any more, just for now. I've been trying to get more made since May of this year. And I'm sorry, but it's just taking a really stupidly long time. And I wish it wasn't. But I get updates, hopefully not too much longer, but I mean, it's taken this long and I didn't think it would take this long. So it's just been really frustrating. It will be back. I just don't specifically know when, because when you're getting products made, there's any number of hiccups in the way. So it's not a money issue and not a demand issue. It's just a supply issue. Can't make it fast enough. Dang. Oh, I don't even think I needed to do that. Oh, I didn't. My, the pegs go back up. I thought I left this stuff sitting over there, but I didn't. I had it over on the bench. Stay down. Oh, now it wants to argue. Fine, whatever. Yeah, so look at that. I have a blade in my hand, so I'm using it. How about that? Don't need to, but doesn't hurt. When you're not streaming, do you just listen to music or sit in absolute silence? Absolute silence. We must be quiet. No, I always have like a video or music going on. I'm usually trying to learn something. So, like, something that usually has to do with like tech. So like I like the Linus Tech Tip channel a lot. They'll put out like a 10 or 20 minute video every day, but that only fills up so much time. So I've got those fog machines up there. So for the last little while, I was trying to learn about how that kind of stuff works. So it was kind of, it just turns into a tech project. So I wasn't completely sure it would work, but there's a software that enabled something called MIDI control. So MIDI is like a music signal, and you can use it to control a DMX board, certain DMX boards. So a DMX board is basically just like a DJ lighting control board. So super chats go to that. That goes to a board. Board goes to those fog machines. So when you super chat, they go off, and it's fun. So I could hook up any number of crazy DJ lights up there, just for fun. But that kind of shit is confusing. Sweet, look at that. That looks good. But yeah, it definitely gets quiet. Sometimes I'll listen to you guys chat. And then sometimes I'm concentrating on this too, so it gets extra quiet. I haven't really felt like playing any type of background music though. I don't think I will. There's some platforms I could use for it, but I don't know. No music. Guys like the spray sounds and the heavy breathing when we're doing a full lifted truck windshield. The hard part is to find something that isn't annoying, that also isn't going to get you flagged. And there's a few that are pretty good. What's the best slip? Slime or baby soap / Dawn? They're just different. I'm using baby shampoo and Dawn mixed together with this film. There's times that, like, I never really like regular slime. I like Slime Ultra. And there's times, but it's still kind of on the tacky side. So using that with this film didn't seem to work very well. But with most regular films that slide pretty smoothly on the glass, you can use whatever type of slip solution that you like. So I really liked Ultra for, like, wouldn't leave streaks and it would dry a little quicker. It was really, really good stuff. I liked it a lot. But with a tackier film, it just made it more annoying than anything. Yeehaw! If you leave the slip solution in a keg, will it go bad? It'll, most of them, yeah. It'll glob together, I guess. Nah, it won't like, it'll stick to the sidewalls, so it starts to separate from the water. So what you're gonna notice is like baby shampoo sticks to like all the sidewalls and stuff like that. So over time you'll have a lot of buildup in your tank that you need to scrub out. So a couple of days in cooler weather is generally fine. But when it's like hot weather, like the next day, you're gonna wanna replace your water like every day. So that's where like the 5-gallon tank isn't as needed, in my opinion. Wow, that stuck to that. Unless you're just going through a lot of cars. So I'll go through like a few, and then it'll sit overnight, and then I'll usually be able to use the same water for the next day, because it stays cooler in here. It doesn't get super warm. But anything more than that, I'm replacing the water for sure. Sometimes I just do it every day anyways, but changing your water definitely doesn't hurt. Keep it fresh. Sweet. It's good that this all laid down right. We were able to, so we started to shrink it out on the sides, and then we had to kind of fix everything by shrinking it all out on the bottom. We just got mixed up. But looks like, okay. Looks like it's fine. Okay. Gravity film? Never heard of it. Sounds like another rebrand. There's a lot of those. There's like, they're just all over the place. This film, that film. So many companies, like will just rebox film. So at that point, like, they'll change it on you too. Scorpion was a pretty notable one that would do it, and then change it on you randomly. So there's lots like that. That was just one I was that got a fair amount of recommendations, and then I think my dad's shop is still using them, but with some of their cheaper films, you gotta watch out. That goes with a lot of companies. There's a lot of companies that'll offer like really budget-oriented films. So what they'll do is they'll give, you know, short warranties on it, which it's a cheap film, so that's why. But even the warranty that they slap on the film isn't necessarily accurate to what you're installing. So they'll be like, yeah, it's a 3-year film, and not all lifetime warranty film is a color stable warranty. So you'll install it, and then the next year a customer will come back for one window to be replaced or something, and then the film will have completely shifted colors. You don't want that. You want something that is going to look the same. So let's say there's an accident and they scratched one of the windows a year later, and then they come back to you, and then you go to replace one of the doors, and then what you're installing looks completely different than it did back then. That would suck. Another thing that they'll do is they'll start to change out film without even giving you notice. So they'll call the film they'll have their line of film, they'll call it something, and then they'll swap it out with something else when they start having complaints, or that film's no longer produced, or they'll get a better deal on another film. For whatever reason, all of a sudden you'll open a box of film, and what you were installing doesn't look like what they put in the box with your latest order. And then you're like, what the hell? You call them up and they'll give you any number of excuses, but that film's different now. That's no good. Because now you have so many cars that you can't match anymore. So there's a whole heck of a lot of weird rebrand, rebox companies that just, I'm not even going to touch them. There's no point. To save what? 10% on your film costs? SunGuard by Maticoat. What? Are you? You need to spell better. SunGuard's not Matico, but I don't know what the beginning said. What tape? It's Lowe's tape. Oh, how thick is this film? So most films that I install are 1.5. Their ceramic is 2 millimeters. So this is a thicker ceramic too. I don't know why, but it just is. I never even thought to ask them why their ceramic's a 2 mil, but it is. I just assumed that meant more ceramic. But for being a 2 mil film, dude, this stuff shrinks so easy. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging to get it in place, but not by a noticeable margin, really. Just like slightly, just a little bit. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all done. Looks like the sides are good. So now we can turn off the vehicle for the rest of the install. We have a back window to do, and then we've got a full windshield to do. Matico is a brand of window tint they made. SunGuard. I know Matico, and I've heard of SunGuard and SolarGuard for that matter. They all kind of like intermix that way on their names. It gets annoying. I thought Matico was like a big different company. That's one of the few. That's kind of like up there with Johnson's. Johnson's is like another SunGuard. SunGuard or Matico. Matico's one of those ones like Johnson, where I know that they're around and they're like a decent film company, I think. At least that's the impression I get. But I don't think I've ever talked to a rep or used them or seen their film really in person at all. It's just always kind of escaped me somehow. Okay. So we do this a couple different ways. We could cut this out on the inside. What I might do is actually just line the, I don't know. Should I line the outside and then cut it on the outside? Because there's no truck bed back, or there's no cover back there. So it can make it a little bit easier. I could cut both of them on that window and then flip it and then just do it that way and then cut this one out, probably on the inside. I think that's what we might do. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I don't mind. I usually will cut them out on the inside. But when I've got room to cut it out on the outside, sometimes it's just, you know, with 3 pieces, sometimes it's easier just to do that. What's the cost difference between metallized and ceramic? Contact your film supplier and find out. Everyone's going to be different. So metallized is generally much cheaper. So there's 2, and in the budget, I guess they lean more towards budget. There's NR and there's HP. So HP stands for high performance. NR stands for non-reflective. For whatever reason, HP is like always associated with metallized films, but metallized films are going to be cheaper. Ooh, fancy, fancy. I like that. So metallized films are going to be generally cheaper. It's an older technology, and ceramic is the newer of the film technologies. So, but they're like 2 different worlds right there. Metallized also has a really bad rap because Metallized was notorious for messing with your vehicle's antennas and stuff, cell phone and whatnot. Because you're basically putting yourself in like a Faraday cage at that point. You're like shielding yourself. So, I don't know. They say that they fixed that, but it's not. I don't think they'll ever have their same comeback because it's different. There's no need. There's not much need for metallized films. You can go right into carbon and ceramic, so. It served its purpose for the time. We're gonna move you, heavy thing. Why did you change tape brands? So I like tuck tape, and I'll probably order more of it. I just ran out and then forgot to order more of it. And then I wanted to see what was available locally. There were people that were recommending all kinds of different tapes. So Tyvek was another one, Tyvek by DuPont. And then the more I looked into it, the more that I just realized sheathing tapes are very similar. And the Lowe's had one that was just sitting there. I went in to go get Tyvek, and the Lowe's I was at didn't have it. And it was late, so I wasn't about to go somewhere else. Where's my roll? Oh, my roll's there. Oh, I need my sprayer too. Dang it. I knew I missed something. Did I get the party steam working? Oh, I think so. I think we may. I hate when I walk around the whole truck just for the one thing. Just for that one thing. Just gonna set that there all gently. And then we also need a light. Where's my light? This is where you can lose a lot of time. When you're walking around looking for stuff and up, down, and whatever, you burn off a lot of time real quick. Hey! Yeah, they work. I'm waiting for the message.
Hey man, nice shot, super chatted $1.99.
Oh, that was it? Well, thank you. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. I should go the other way. But there's this little thing here. So sometimes it gets extra annoying for like, I just wanted to send a sticker. Well, thank you. You know, I think the stickers are different right now from the regular Super Chats, so I forgot to change it. Where can I purchase the next guard film? I don't know. Where'd you hear about it? Ask them. I have no idea. Google? If they don't pop up on Google, maybe it's not worth buying. But probably from NextGuard. Probably. Just maybe. It's like when people ask me where can I get Geo. Like I get I get it. So I did the same thing with the what was it? With my Libman squeegees. I'm like, where can I get them? I can't find them. I couldn't find them in the same place that I bought them. I did a 2-second Amazon search. I have 2 on the way with Prime shipping. Found them in 2 seconds. Was, oh, the carpet shield? Carpet shield. There might be a link in chat, and if there's not, Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot, they all sell carpet shield. I think Lowe's had like a 15% off in a bundle of 4, so you can save a little bit of money that way on it. So I'm just gonna flip this one. So I could cut over that, but they have a sticker in the way, and it would be a little bit extra annoying to try and line up Glass Aid, and then, you know, when you can just reverse it, you can just save a little bit of time this way. Save a little bit of time and ensure that we're not gonna damage a very important sticker. This was to commemorate one of their friends. We did one of their other friends' trucks, which was super cool. We did all ceramic. That's cool that they all have the same sticker on it. You can buy NextGuard from PetSmart. Ah. Wait. Do I need to flip this? I feel like I need to flip this.
Hey man, nice shot, super chatted $3.69. I hope this sprays you.
I think I need to flip this. I'm sorry, it didn't spray me. So it's set for, this is like, I guess for the super sticker. I didn't, so super stickers are different from super chats, so I forget to adjust some settings. I didn't want everybody to set the fog machines off for $1, so I put it to like $4. So I think you fell just shy. I know, I'm sorry. But you got one with the super sticker there, so, you know, hey, works out. Yeah, so I want to make these. Hey! There we go. See, that's how it works. You got it.
Hey man, nice shot, super chatted $4, round 2.
Hey man, nice shot. Thank you. Thank you for the 4. Glad to know that it actually works. It's been, oh man, I'm just glad that it's working. I wanted something that would be fun, that we could just always have up. So that's where those things came from. A little crazy, but how it goes. When you start with a balloon that explodes, you got to find something else that's just as cool. And I don't know if it's as cool, but it's pretty damn close. So we're going to save this piece. We might use this for that back window there. But we're going to install those side pieces first. Where do I put? I need a table. I need a table that I can just like, I know I can roll this up, but I can put it on the glass board. I'll do that. That's more smart. $3.69. Thank you for that one too, by the way. That's funny. It was just a little bit of change shy. Fog machines show no mercy. I did 24 cars on that. Sorry. Did 24 cars this week? That's quite a bit. Nice job. I didn't do near that many this week. I used to hustle like that, and I'm a little over it. I still enjoy what I do, but I never enjoyed doing car after car after car after car after car after car after car. I mean, I guess I might if I was the owner of the shop doing it, but that wasn't what I was about. That's weird. Manufacturing. There's like a little bit of rubber here. It'll trim off. Just like from the manufacturing. This because they've got a rubber line all the way down here. Just a little tail of it is like seamed onto the glass, so we're just gonna make sure that's cleaned out of there so it doesn't look like a weird hair or something. Do you ever find a container? Good timing.
Hey man, nice shot, super chatted $4.01. Do you ever intend to own and operate 2 shops?
$4.01. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Do you ever intend on owning and operating 2 shops? If it's easy, which probably not. So I didn't even know how much of a traditional shop this place is going to be, because the purpose of this place is so I have the time to do the jobs that I want to do and stream them because I have fun doing it. So maybe someday, I don't have any immediate plans because I'm just trying to focus on this place. Expanding past yourself in tinting is tough. So you need to bring in enough work for another guy, and then you need to keep that guy happy, or it'll just go somewhere else. That could be, that might not even be paying him. It might not even be the compensation that keeps him happy. Might be different opportunity. So like, if you get somebody So if you get somebody in working for you, this is kind of the problem I had with when I was mobile tinting. It was like, it wasn't really at some point even about the money. It was just about opportunity. It was just like, I'll only ever be a tinter, and I want to do more media stuff, and I can't do that here. So I need to go kind of figure out my own thing. And then some people want to be shop owners. So letting them and helping them maybe build a shop alongside yours, like maybe not their, like obviously for your company, it would have to be your company name, but for them to be like the owner of that shop, I mean, stuff like that, that's kind of hard to come by. So if it was easier, yeah, I'd probably be opening more locations, but it's very challenging to kind of expand past yourself in this business. So start with one, get a good team, and then focus on expanding later. So I would just, my hardest part would be finding another person that can tint really, really well, that enjoys to hang around here. And until that would happen, then probably not. And I don't know how many people that I've taught that are more interested in running their own thing or aren't really into tinting, or, you know, they just like, it's a quick buck for them. So, I don't know. Sorry, I was listening to another one. You never catch the crease points? What crease points? I feel like when you train a good guy long enough, he'll just do his own thing. So it happens a lot. There are people that honestly don't want to start their own business. They're cool with just hanging around making the money that they're making, which is good money, but there's a lot of more entrepreneurial window tinters out there that want their own shop name. But they don't always necessarily realize what comes along with it. Because you can, like, when you have somebody taking a percentage of all the work, right? Like, and if you're the guy doing the work, you want to make all the money. But there are things that you don't necessarily think about as a non-shop owner. It's expensive. You have rent, you have utilities, you have internet, you have other general overhead, you have insurance, payroll can cost money, and a whole, like, not just the dollar amount to pay somebody, but accounting, all that. It all costs money. So all of that gets taken out of there. So tinter might be happy with making whatever, like seeing that physical total amount off the job, but then not realize how many things come off of it. But yeah, most people end up going and making their own tint shop. Alrighty. So need somebody hardworking but not ambitious. Yeah, good luck with that. And you don't want to keep somebody from doing what they want to do either. What I always thought would be a really cool side thing to this would be possibly partnering up with somebody that does another skilled trade. And then you start growing as a 10, 16 at the most. I wonder if we can just flat edge cut this on the glass. So just do that roughly there. And just Just want like an approximate height for this so I can cut it off on the inside too. Should kind of do it. And then this should be more than 16. So 16 at the most. Let's just trim that off. We can do our sides there too. Cool. So that roughly, yep, that should do it. We're gonna clean this up in here. Reverse it, because we're cutting this on the inside. Oh, that's got a little nubbin right there, huh? Okay. Doing a John Deere tractor with nanocarbon? Dang, that's a hefty job right there. I haven't done any heavy equipment like that. Good luck. Tots on spool. Sounds like thoughts on expel, but I'll let you spell it right. Little crease points, I found them on every window. So when you're, it depends on how you're installing them. But yeah, like you can get little folds from two staging a window or whatever, if that's what you're talking about. And then to fix them, you just heat them up and press them out a little bit. Little chiseler, that one's decent. I like using a gator blade for like really hard touch-ups and tri-edges for like medium touch-ups. And then I have a soft card for softer touch-ups. I have a coffee shop next door. Ooh. My, one of my dad's locations, it was right next to a Starbucks. Well, you said tots. So, expel. Yeah, tots on expel. All right, so you spelled expel right, but you spelled thoughts wrong. Expel is funny because every time it's pronounced, it says spole. Thoughts on spole. So it was tots on spole. That's what I heard. Pronounces a lot of things right. Expel is not one of them. You guys should spell expel like X spell. Yeah, post it in the group for sure. Window tint stuff Facebook group. You guys can show off your work, ask for advice, whatever you need out of that group. Just keep it on topic. Just stuff that's associated with the business. Look at that. That looks good. And then we'll have the windshield, and then that's it. What time is it? Got the other one coming in at 1:30. Expected to start at 2, but I think we'll be able to start earlier. Just wanted to give myself a fair amount of leeway on this one. 11:20. Whoa! Alright, so expect like, we'll probably spend 45 minutes on the rest of this. Not bad at all. Sometimes I usually will shoot for more time than less time, but I'll find myself sometimes definitely using that extra time. There's a little like connector point there that needs to be cut off. Sweet. That's that. I noticed they removed the headrest. That was nice. It took 7 hours on my first tint job yesterday. I took 6 on mine. 6.5, I think. So you'll speed up a fair amount between your first one and your second or third one. But from there on, it's slower going. What type of blade are you using? I'm using these guys right here, NT cutter. I have their 60-degree stainless steel, and I have their 30-degree carbon steel ones. I bet there were still a lot of problems with the first tint job I did. I think it was like on a Taurus or something though, so I didn't have it super easy on my first solo car. I was also practicing on other stuff too, so. Mine was 6 hours on a back glass, ooh. But, okay, so that's kind of like, I had training, and then I was like put on my own. So that was like my first really solo car. I had worked with somebody prior, so like I had installed other stuff prior to doing that car completely by myself.
Jose78 Rios super chatted $9.99. Good morning, I say full hands busy. How do you do when a costumer is a
What?
woman and is very beautiful and your wife is in front of you? On my case and my son we F.
Hang on, I had so many comments there that overtalked the super chat in my head. Hang on a second, let me check that one out. Jose with the 10, thank you. Good morning, I see your hands full busy. How do you do when a customer is a woman and is very beautiful and your wife is right in front of you? On my case and my son, we F. What? What was that super chat even? Thank you for the 10. I don't know how to answer that. That was kind of all over the place. You feeling okay today? That reminds me of NOS shooting out of my hood. Yes, we did fix it. I'm glad it reminds you of NOS rather than just some things that's on fire. I don't know, random smoke. So it's got more of like a car theme to it. That's cool. I'm glad you guys like it. It's fun. But yes, they are fixed, and they're mounted up top now, so they're all firing down. And they've gone off a bunch today too, so thank you. I'm glad that it hasn't fogged up my whole studio. It shouldn't, because it's quick dissipating fog, but what? Sounds like a 2JZ engine with parts, with overnight parts from Japan. He was probably getting slapped while he was typing that. All right, so back to tinting. We got a full windshield to do. We got to do it in ceramic, and it's going to look good. It's going to be 35, which is, I go back. It's honestly my favorite shade to have on a windshield to drive with. I love the look of it. I'm still very happy with the 50 I have on mine, just because it's, if I'm gonna have other people also driving the vehicle, I just didn't want to go like totally dark on that one. But this, yes, that's 20 on the front and then 5 over the factory on that. So once we do 35 on this, whew, gonna be super cool looking. What's your take on Avery Nano ceramic? I love it, but I wanted your opinion. I haven't used it. I didn't hear amazing things about it, but if you like it, that's great. I don't want to say that, just say like, well, if you like it, that's great. No, I really didn't use it. I heard it wasn't super user-friendly either. So I went from Avery NR Pro right to NR and then to Geo. So I actually haven't used their ceramic. I just heard from a few people that it wasn't super fun to work with. So, but that was a few years ago. So hopefully they might have revamped it or something, taken user feedback and made it better. So I'd have to take a look at it. That's my dream truck. That's awesome. Yeah, this thing's one hell of a truck. Lots of up-downs. This truck makes me feel a little short. Not the shortest I've ever felt tinting a truck, but so when you do windshields on these, step bar, step up, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Luckily, they're not super difficult to tint, though. So we're going to put that up. I think I'm going to take just a little break here, too. What's the tallest truck? I don't know the lift that they had on it, but it was tall. I really don't know, but there was, I think it might have been on stream too. Just, whatever your run-of-the-mill super 8 to 10-inch lift, fucking big old wheels and stuff like that, just, yeah. And they're always on, the tall ones are always on vehicles like that too, where there's like, you gotta go up and down the step bars and they're just like big old pieces of glass, so it's just a lot of work. Looking for my roll here. I don't remember where I put it, but I need it. Oh, we did it for the back window, so it was somewhere around here. But if I can't find it, I'll just open a new one. I'll find it somewhere. Yes, we are doing the windshield. We're doing 35. What's the bill on this one? This one's 6. There we go. Do you charge extra for excessively tall vehicles? No, but I should. No, it's just, to me, that's just part of it. If it's like a SUV, that's different. So trucks are like kind of fall in line with my sedan pricing. So there's usually bigger glass, but there's not as much of a back window. So that's where they kind of like even themselves out. When you get into the extra windows on an SUV, that's where it would cost much more. Like there's just quite a few more pieces of glass there to do. And they're usually big windows too. Yeah, you should convince them to do a 5% strip over the 35. They were asking about it. I think they'd like it. But here's the thing. Once you do a windshield strip over tint, you're not going back. So it's always going to be there and always in the same spot. So what they're going to do is they're going to sit on it for a little while, and then they're going to decide later on if they want to do a strip. So it's good to have all those things before, but when they're on the fence a little bit, it's like, it's still going to look great. It's still going to be incredibly functional to have 35% on the full windshield. I haven't done a strip on mine lately, even though I like them. I just haven't, and I'm still happy driving around without it. So it's just one of those things where once you tint over it, it's stuck there. But if you want a little time to kind of decide and get used to 35 first, then it's better to do that. I think they'll like it either way, though. But I don't want to make that decision for them. I want to figure out what they want to do on this more. '95, ooh, 95 F350, 6-inch lift, oh my God. My buddy wants his windshield tinted on a 95. Of course it'd be a friend too. That's always fun. Do you think 35 is a good shade for my tractor? Oh, 25. 25, yeah, I would. I'd be more inclined to say 25. I don't operate that equipment, so I don't know how well you have to see out of it. But 25 would be pretty good. If you're out in the sun all day, it's going to give you a decent amount of shade. I think you'll be pretty comfortable with that. Because, like, windshield strips, I'll still do 5%. All the time, 5%. And 5% on a windshield is like, it's dark. Hang on, let me read something here real quick. Oh, okay. No, this was about a job for $825 in a Focus, which is just, I was I was definitely curious about. I was like, really? I didn't think we went up that high on a Focus, but apparently if you need a full removal, it'll get up that high. Have you ever done anything darker than 5%? Well, technically the very back, so that was 5 over the factory 20, so that would be darker than 5. Other than that, no. I've never had a film darker than 5%. I don't want to say there's no point to it, but for the most part, just people that I tint for haven't been interested in anything darker than like going darker than the factory on the back with anything else on the vehicle. So it's I've never been like, oh, Geo doesn't carry like a 2% or something like that. But I had to fill my eyebrow 0, then it would just be like vinyl at that point. Just like black vinyl. What's the best way to clean windows? I've tried a bunch of things and still get fender bubbles in the corners. So on these ones, just go back in a lot of the live streams. We tape all the sides. That'll help. And like just follow what we do on this. A lot of the dirt, honestly, comes from installation. So if you're like crinkling up the film when you're trying to slide it into the sides, and it just overall feels a little messy to you, that's where you're getting a bunch of dirt from. It doesn't matter how many times you clean it. Installation matters a bunch. The technique matters. All right, we're going to get to this windshield here in just a minute. So I've prepped it for what is called dry shrinking. Could you compare a soap bar versus the dryer sheet on this truck? Oh, no, I haven't gotten one. So it's on my list. I will get one next time. I don't think I'd try it with ceramic, though. I think I would just do it on a regular film, on a back window. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. No, I'd probably try it on ceramic. I don't want to try it on this one. I didn't have it, though, but thanks for the reminder. I'm running Google Ads, got 7 calls yesterday on super cheap budget. Hell yeah, nice job. That's awesome. I just want to say that I've learned a bunch from your videos, and I was just basing my install from your stuff. Thanks a bunch. Oh, you're welcome. Glad they've helped. This is a big pain to learn, but if you suffer through it enough, you'll get there. Do you have a technique video? Every install is a technique video. Yeah, I have videos that kind of go more in depth on what I'm doing. Just browse through the recent videos on the channel, you'll see. The shorter videos are typically ones that, like, you'll see it in every live stream, but I made a couple of dedicated videos that talk more about it. All right, so that should be fine. I wanted to take off this headset for a minute, too. It's kind of bopping all over the place right now. I think I need to tighten it up a bit. I think it loosened up, but we'll be okay for the rest of this car. Have you ever do you take off door panels? No, I haven't had to take off a door panel in a very long time. Have you ever had to use Dotrix on a windshield? We actually just put up a Dotrix video. No, not on a windshield, no. No, never on a windshield. I just use it on the back for the wider dots at the top. Like I said in the video, it's like an old school problem. You don't run into it near as much anymore. Do you ever let people come and watch you just do installation? Not yet. I don't know how to facilitate it because most of the time the things that I set up are for streaming, so you guys can watch it here. Just not really in person. And it wouldn't, like I really thought hard about trying to do some type of a shadow program where you can come in and follow me for like a day. But like I said, it's difficult. A lot of what I do is set up to, with more time for streaming and stuff. So it's not really a good time for you to watch because I don't want people always in the background. But I am trying to put together a class. So there will be like an actual class here sooner or later. Probably later than sooner, but no excuses now. We got to get that ironed out. Hopefully we put enough overlap on our tint so we didn't cut it shy. Do you shrink wet windshields, or do you always do them dry? Always do them dry. Always, always, always dry. I still get a lot of those questions, even though I have a library of vehicles that I've never done wet. But yeah, it's just faster and smoother I think. I mean, there's I guess the teardrop method that some people use, so I'm sure there's ways to do it faster. Wet shrinking, but if you're going to take the same principles for shrinking and just do them wet, you're gonna have a bad time. You're just gonna be way slower, so you just dry shrink it. Trying to make sure this is all straight. There's a little wet spot right in the bottom corner here. So this is causing the film to anchor down right here. And I think I lined it up pretty well. Just want to make sure it's all straight over here before we lock it down. We're no gaps. We don't want gaps. Yeah, so what you see me doing on this truck, and it's basically the same as everything else that I tint. There'll be rare occasions where I do something different, but most videos are like this video. You're gonna see the same shrinking style, same cleaning style, same installation, same techniques, just on different vehicles. So the change is really just small differences between like vehicle tightness and stuff, but makes such a minimal impact on the overall installation, unless it's like something super rounded and tight and whatever. Okay, we need to untangle this mess right here. Then we'll get to shrinking. I think I just made it worse. Should I remove my tractor windows? Are they not hard to remove? I have no idea on your tractor. I have tinted 0 tractors in my life, so I'm not the person to ask about that one. Check out the Window Tint Stuff Facebook group, and you could ask some questions about it there. Tractors look scary to me. And I'm not in a, don't have many of them here. What size roll? This was a 36. As you can see, we got plenty of overlap on the top and the bottom. Oh, somebody was supposed to remind me. Somebody that wanted to know about shrinking. They're supposed to remind me when I get to the shrinking bit, because then I forget. All right, so shrinking. We talked about this in the last stream a little bit more specifically, and I don't want to take too much time on every windshield saying the same thing, but the general idea with shrinking is you need to shrink film in order to get it to lay flat. That is the goal. We need the film to lay flat. Film is already flat and the glass is curved. So you need that film to smooth out on the glass. See, you can see these little peaks here. The farther down we push this without doing anything, the more of these little peaks that we're gonna have. So the way you get it to smooth out is put a little bit of heat a little bit below that peak. You'll watch it start to do this. And then look. See that? Now I can go down a little bit farther. That's probably the most comprehensive way to shrink a window. You just put a little bit of heat, a little bit below that peak. That'll start to go sideways. And then you just press it down a little bit farther. So really all your card is for smoothing out the film. You're not shrinking with this thing. You're just organizing with it. So you got a couple that are starting to go a little sideways. And you can, look, you can pull it more straight, pull a little bit of air back into it, and then just kind of even it out, and now it kind of looks like it did a little higher up. The farther down you go, the more that needs to be shrunk. So it'll be a little bit slower towards the edges, depending on how much you're shrinking, but you're just kind of going across with it. Put some heat on it, let it go sideways. So that's where, when you see me kind of just going straight across with the heat and pressing it down, I'm just doing all those steps together. Putting a little heat, pressing it down. You know that sweet spot, so you just kind of work it. You just work it. Can you use a hard card or a Teflon card? Yes, absolutely. You don't have to use a felt card. The reason I like the felt card is because it saves you a little bit. So when I'm shrinking, like if I didn't clean this windshield super well, if I took a towel and I wiped it over the whole thing, sometimes there's little pieces of sand or dirt or grit that are just kind of like hanging around. And every once in a while you get like a little rock that'll be a little bit bigger. You'll take that Teflon card, just rip it right through the film. This is a rather gross looking one. This is at least 3 years old now. This is a felt card. This is what they look like after they've been worn out. But they work really well when they're kind of further worn. These edges kind of lay a little more flat. So this will skip over any little bits of dirt and stuff. So I'll try and get a little closer, and you can see how the film just kind of like, see a little heat wave there? It's all just kind of going sideways. Look at that. And you got these nice lines that are going sideways, and just press them out. The film is telling you everything you need to know. So when I'm pressing it down and I go a little too far without shrinking it, you start getting these little peaks right here. So you can pull a little air back into it. Heat that area up, press it down. Look at that, now we're all shrunk. Now, it's a little smarter to kind of just go evenly across the whole thing because you can kind of keep organized better that way. That's what I'll usually recommend for you guys starting out. But there's any number of chaotic ways that you can shrink a window. The goal is to just get it all to pull and smooth out. So when it's over shrunk in an area, or what that basically means is like you just kind of shrunk it a little bit too much, you'll see these tension lines start going like this, like little smileys. So I shrunk this section and still left this section pretty loose. If I shrunk this a little bit too much, then it'd start pulling like this into this area right here. So that's where you'd want to keep everything kind of even. I might be able to show you a little bit more. Oh, this one right here, actually. So I shrunk this half of the windshield, and now I'm coming over to shrink this half. I didn't go totally over. I just kind of shrunk most of it, and then what this is telling me right here is that right in here needs to be shrunk, and then this will all kind of smooth out together. Not like this, but as I shrink this little sideways bit, it'll start going up that way. So it's all just going sideways, pulling that way. It's all laying smooth. I haven't even used the card yet. I haven't felt like I needed to. If it all just goes this smooth, there's not much else you need to do. Then you're just organizing it with this card. So, see this? A little bit more of an air pocket there. We're gonna shrink it a little bit higher up, and then it starts doing this instead of just jutting down this way. It's like, and now you can press it up. So this is just, it's a smoothing tool. Helps you press all the air out, organize your film, and that's it. That's all there is to it. It's that easy. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn it. But you just got to know what to look for. One guy that that I tinted with for a while, this was always stuck in my head. He was like, "Man, I wish I could give you a book and then you could just learn how to read the film." Because that's what you're doing. And he was right. He was a shitty tinter, but he was right about that. The film, you're just looking for patterns in the film and just how it's laying. And then with that, you kind of know how to correct for certain situations and where you need to shrink. So it all just kind of looks weird and wrinkly in the beginning. But the more you do it, the more you'll be able to kind of read the film. Okay, like he legitimately was a shitty tinter. I learned so many horrible things from that guy. You learn what to do from some people. I learned everything what not to do from that guy. Brand new Challenger was brand new Challenger. So the Challengers first came out, not in the 60s or 70s, but when they relaunched them. He was all geeked one day because he came in the shop. He was like, "Hey, remember all those holes in my tool belt? I fixed it." He fixed it with a stapler. $1,100 worth of damage per side because he scraped his stapled tool belt against the car. So I learned not to do that. I also learned that just because you've been tinting for 30 years doesn't mean you've been doing a good job all those 30 years. Unfortunately. And then in the end, he stole the work fan. So, hey, there's that too. Yeah, be careful of your tool belts. Ah, grabbed. I always try and get it so it doesn't grab. What's your biggest tint fuck up? Let's see. I've broken 2 windshields. I've broken 1 back window. And I've damaged a handful of door panels. My most expensive one wasn't even necessarily, I don't think it should have been this expensive, but I think my most expensive screw up was like $550. It was a scratched BRZ window, door window. There was just something that got stuck to my my gator blade, and so it put scratches, like dirt from the seal, rubbed on the glass, and then it put scratches in it that you could see after it was tinted. But it was at this high-end shop, and they call this glass guy in, and he charges like price of the glass plus installation and everything, total bill for that, for him to come in and replace with an OEM door, because you're using an OEM door because it's a nice shop. You're not using a cheap aftermarket piece of glass because that customer didn't deserve to have that scratched up like that. Right? So they don't even ask questions. They just call the guy in, replaced it, handed me the bill, $550. Yay. One window. So I broke a few windshields for the mirrors. One was on a Mustang. One I think was on a Taurus, actually. An older Taurus. So this is especially true for cheap glass, because there's good quality glass and there's cheap quality glass. On the Taurus and some of the other Ford mirrors, they have an easier mirror that you can just like, there's two ways to take it off. The way that I would take it off at the time was I was told you put your hand here and you just kind of pry down on the mirror. And then it's supposed to peel off that tab. If it's cheap glass, you'll just tear a chunk of glass clean out of the windshield, and that's what happened. So that was two of those. One was a harsh reminder of the prior one. And then on a back window, there was like early 2000s, they were putting a lot of double-sided stick antennas on the windshield or on the back windows. So I was just heating it up and taking it off. I would use a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, kind of pry it in there and twist a little bit. And that would help take that off quicker. And I just was impatient. So I just kind of like shoved that screwdriver in and went, pop, and the whole thing went pop. Dead. Dead window. No good. So we don't make those mistakes. We try not to make those mistakes anymore. Don't do that. So the Ford mirrors, I take off the easy ones, and the more difficult ones I leave them on. They're slowly phasing them out. Ooh, Chrysler 300 was tinting the taillights, and then I accidentally melted it with the IR heater. Got a phone call, got distracted. Dang. My younger brother destroyed a seat because he put a heat gun on it. I don't even blame you for doing it. Like, I wasn't there at the time, but like, oh, no, it was I think it was a heat gun or a halogen light. Okay, so my halogen light. I had this halogen light, and then I was off that day. And then my younger brother and another tinter were there, and they left it on the seat, or I think he left it on the seat, and they burned a hole in the seat or something. And I was sad because then they took my light and they threw it out, and they're like, it's dangerous. And I was like, it's dangerous if you use it wrong. But if you don't use it wrong, you don't leave it on the seat. And I was just sad because they threw it out. It's fine if you don't want it at the shop, but they threw it out. I bought it. Do you like the dash towel better with the rope or separate? I like this one a lot. I like the attachment. I think that it's not going to survive a long time before you have to replace it. But that being said, I'm still using it, so it's just a better solution. So I like a thinner rope, so I'm using like the shorter side. I like a thinner rope for tucking farther into the dash, if I can do it. And then what's nice about it is I have this really healthy gap on most of my windshield already. The thing I don't like about it is the way that the rope is stitched into it. You're getting all these little fuzzies because it looks like the rope broke apart from the stitching. And I don't know, it's kind of falling apart and you get little fuzzies down there. So you just got to be a little careful of them. But overall, hope they improve that part of it. If they do, everybody's gonna be using that towel for sure. It's just a better towel. I hate keeping them separate. I didn't really think about it, but it always drove me crazy. I put the rope in, and then I put a towel up there, and then something like the backside of the scrub it is going to start to cling, and you know, see it grabbing? It'll just start moving, shifting the towel around. Well, with that rope, it's got an anchor, so it's always there. Way better. And the extra space that it leaves there. So, it's the dash protector too. They're not affiliated with the channel, but they did send me one to try out. And I'm gonna be putting up a video about it. We've already talked about some of those downsides. I hope they improve it. I really do. But I'll just be using it for now, because it actually is a better option than what I was using. But it's kind of expensive to have it be an option. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'd want to buy 2 of them, because a microfiber towel is going to get wet. So this is definitely getting wet. And then you have another windshield to do, right? And what you don't want to do is put another wet towel over another vehicle. You want a nice dry towel. So you'd have to toss this in a dryer and wait, or pick up another one and let the other one hang dry until you're ready to go. Did you stop trying out the files? Yeah, because I have something else that I think I am gonna like way better if it works. And I don't see why it's not gonna work. I have a mini belt sander. And I don't know. Every once in a while I get a certain impression about a tool when there's like a certain ease of use, and it just seems like it's gonna work. That one part on the driver's side isn't covered? Yeah, just a little bit. I suppose we should probably make sure that has something on it. I didn't have it centered completely. My bad. It's getting a little foamy there, so we'll cover that up with this guy right here. But it's bunched up over there, so I used the shorter side on this one. It's got these like little side wings that you can do that with, so that's pretty nifty. Now I have to squeegee again because I got distracted. Yeah, I don't know. It just, there's certain tools that like, I'm like, everybody should be using this, or everybody's going to be using this, because it just works way better than what was there. That makes sense. So the belt sander, there's a lot of people that have problems with shaving a window with their blade, me included. And then I picked up a file, and a file, I don't know. I just got to practice with it some, or whatever. I think more people can do a file than a blade, but it just wasn't super impressed when I was using it. So, need to go take a file class or something. But the mini belt sander, I think, would give it a really, really smooth edge too. So that's where like I saw that and I was just kind of like, I feel like that's just gonna be better. I don't know, but I'm gonna try it. I'd seen it years ago, and somebody just posted another video with one, and so I just had to buy one. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try it. Oh, there's my roll sitting right there. So Nick, I think, is gonna get a vat, unless he's got it already. So I want to practice on something first. I don't want to practice on his, but I'm gonna practice on a window first, and then if it works out, then I'll do it on frameless windows, I think. Because it'd be super cool to do on like Teslas and stuff. Yes, reverse roll windshields. I like it. Works out better for me. Carry in back windows, reverse roll windshields. What's your favorite part about tinting? Being done. But really, after you're finished with a job and you've done like a really good job, you're really proud of the work that you did. Like every time I finish up a window, wipe it off, check it over, and it looks really good, it's the best part. You're just really proud of the work that you did. I don't want to just say when I'm done, so I'm done, but that is kind of like nice because, you know, it is work. I enjoy it, but it does get tedious for sure. So, once we get this windshield done and I don't have to stress about there being a random hair or something in it, I'll feel much better about it. Let's just hope this goes well. Because, like, you can do everything correctly and still have a problem with the window. And that just means that you have to do everything over again. And up till you check over the window, you don't know for sure if everything's going to turn out perfect. Tinting's always just this little like leap of faith here. You're just like, well, I did everything properly and I had a problem with it, so let me just do everything properly again and cross my fingers harder. Ooh, that one laid down real smooth. What's the worst thing about tinting? What's the best thing? What's the worst thing? The worst thing is being in a situation that you don't know that you can fix. Or you don't know you can make it look any better, or you're just like kind of at this impossible wall where you go to, you want it to look good and you're trying really difficult. It's just, you can't seem to make it happen. That's the worst. Because you want to be able to do everything. I don't enjoy turning away older cars. Like, sure, bring it in, I'll knock it out, it'll be great, everybody will be happy, but at the end of the day, I just don't get them very often, so what I'm going to charge for my time to do it, I just don't necessarily think is always fair for that type of situation. So it's usually what I tell people. Just like, yeah, I know I can do a pretty good job on it. It's just going to take me a long time to do. So it's going to be expensive. And then with the ones that, there's just certain cars that I'm like, yep, don't think I want to touch that one. The most stressful was probably last week when I had to do that Porsche. That was the most recent stressful one. The one before that was probably the Model 3 that I did on stream. You just can't get out of your own head sometimes. There's certain, like, on vehicles that I haven't had much practice with, like, I've had a ton of variety of vehicles off stream. Like, I worked for lots of companies, so I have a pretty big background on a lot of modern cars. and the occasional random older POS that I don't feel like tinting. But, you know, it's like, hey, we got late or early 90s Corvette for you to do. And I'm like, really? He's like, well, you know, we charged him this much for it, and he said okay, and he's cool with whatever. It's just like, So then I'm like, I'm forced to do it. But I enjoy way more after the fact, because then I like, okay, I remember how to do it, or now I know that I can do it, so I feel more comfortable with another one. But getting through that first one is such a stressful situation. So Model 3 has that back window. When you do a couple of them, it's not that big of a deal anymore. But up to that point, you're kind of like, ah. So I wanted to stream the Model 3 because it's a Model 3. Like, big customer base there. Really interesting, unique back window. Nick told me that he was getting a old Corvette. Now I've done quite a few of the older Corvettes, like the C6 ones, with like the cockpit style back window. So I'm not as nervous about that one, but it's still a little bit of like a because maybe it just won't go well that day. It still is kind of a pain in the ass to shrink that back window, so we'll get it, but I don't know what kind of annoying pain and struggle I have to go through, and then there's always that little bit in the back of your head like, we might burn it and just not get through this one today. But then it usually works out one way or another, so just gotta stay out of your own head. I'd love for you to do my 96 Vet, but that's the curved hatch, your favorite. So the 96 Vet, that's the one with the hardware that has to be removed, if I can remember right. The curve on it is still, like, yeah, it's still a curved one, but it's extra annoying because there's hardware that needs to be removed and dried out and then reapplied. So it's a really time-consuming back window. The C6 Corvette, there's no hardware that has to be removed, but it's a little bit more extreme of a curve. And then you go into the Stingray Corvette, like the C7, way easier. Still annoying door windows, but those are by far some of the least offensive Corvette windows. So the rest of it is just really, you know, it's not a big deal. They're like, hey, what if we make a flat back window? And I was like, yes, please. Yes, let's do that flat back window, please. Thank you. And they're like, wow, that looks good. People like it. Cool. Sweet. Tinters like it too. Have you tinted a C8 yet? No, unfortunately. I'd be excited to get one. I think they look awesome. I just never seen one in person, actually. Seen them drive by, that's about it. Haven't got somebody who brought one in yet. Do you make people clean their cars? Nah. No, whatever state that you bring it in is usually fine. It's within reason. It's just part of the job, in my opinion. Like, you want to put out as nice of a job as you can, but I'm already going to go through and, like, scrub down and scrape all your windows and cleaning the rest of the car. It doesn't do much for me. When you're installing things correctly, you're not touching the tint to anywhere that's going to pick up dirt, like the door panels or whatnot. So, you know, if I open this up and there's a bunch of dog hair all over the back, yeah, it's like, ew, gross. But it's not on my back window. I cleaned my back window. It's just kind of there. I'm sure there's like a level where I'd be like, all right, come on. But I haven't run into that point. Everything's generally within reason. Shit, I had a back window yesterday. No, day before yesterday or something. It was on a Challenger. Early model Challenger, not bad. But he said it needed a removal, and so I told him what the removal was going to cost. And then he said, okay. And then he brought it in the next morning, and he did the removal himself. There was, he was pretty confident that he did a good job. But he didn't care about his defrosters, so he mostly just he said he peeled a clear layer of film off and then scraped the rest of it. And he left a fair amount of small flaky bits behind that I had to go through and scrape out. But, you know, it was, what, $150 for the back window, and then he added the windshield for another $150. So, yeah, it's fine. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. It was actually kind of nice because I got to scrape an entire defroster grid to make it look all clean and pretty. And I like a black defroster grid way more than an orange stripey one. Looking for my, oh, I put it right here. Well-timed comment. Thank you for giving me something to watch while doing the dishes. I hate doing the dishes. They're not too bad. But you're welcome. Look, I'm cleaning. I'm scrubbing and cleaning too here. Looking pretty good. I almost forgot that we're doing the final little squeegee here. Seems to have installed really, really well. I got so distracted with whatever we were talking about, which is good, because then you just kind of tint. You don't think about it much. The less you think about it, the better. Because you just get in this. There was a video recorded me tinting one side of the car and then tinting another side of the car, just one door window versus another door window on the same car using a couple different things. And it was almost uncanny how well both sides of the video matched up with each other. You don't even think about it, but you go through the same motions, and you can put the video on basically the exact same timeline. You almost always line up. And what's crazy is I've noticed it with some of the live streams. I don't intend on doing full vehicles in the live stream in 2 hours, but most of them recently have ended within minutes of each other. I just stream, and then I finish, and I say, thanks, and we'll catch you on the next one, and end the stream, and then look at the time, and holy shit, it's just the same. Why do people tint the front windshields? Because it's awesome. So it's not just about dark. You can do it a few different ways. You can go light. Well, you go light, medium, or dark. You can go whatever shade you want, but when you're going ceramic, you get good heat rejection too. So tinting windshields is not just about going dark. This one is just, we've done so many 70%, but yeah, it's this one went dark. It looks good. Did we do this one? How long has it been? 2 hours? That's cool. As long as we all go and don't feel rushed and everything kind of just turns out well. Oh good, that was towel. This is that nervous part. Looks like we're good. Looks like everything turned out well. Just want to double check it before I say, yeah, it looks great, and then I'm like, ah, shit, there's a hair in it. So, looks great. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's just this little, it's like right on the edge. Just teeny little speck. Yeah, I try not to look at the time too much when I'm tinting on stream. I just kind of try and focus on what I need to do. But if I have an appointment immediately afterwards, then sometimes I'll look more, just kind of like, okay, I'm within what I think is like a reasonable time here. There was just a little... Where is it? It's the thing. Oh, there it is. Just a little nubbin right there. Okay, good. Do you tint more when your live stream ends? Yeah, usually. Depends on the day though. If it's an afternoon stream, that's the last car of the day. But if it's a morning stream, then yeah, there's usually more. So we have a Lincoln Continental coming in that I'm not going to be streaming. It would be helpful for you guys to see that one, but it's too much. Too much to stream. It's not that I don't like doing it, it just... Batteries need to recharge. I need to kind of take a little break. And then I can get the job done a little bit quicker and just kind of... I got other stuff that needs to be done. Cool, that looks good. Just like a teeny tiny little nubbin. How many cars during the week? 6, 12? 12, I think, is usually what we're shooting for right now. It's a little different because I still have things scheduled, like I'm gonna stream every day. So that's generally like 2 full appointments with the ability to do like full windshields and stuff. But without streaming, I'd be comfortable scheduling like full cars apart every like couple hours. But I treat this place differently than I treated a lot of my other accounts. I try and take more time, make sure things turn out well. Oh, you son of a bitch. That, ooh. Hey! Fuck. Thank you. Sorry. Bad news bears. Everything was looking really good. This is facing at a weird point in the windshield. I have a little squiggle right here. I thought everything was good. I just saw the little nubbin there.
$5.52. I
Damn.
have learned a lot from you.
This
Thanks.
might not be good.
Thumbs up.
I have learned a lot from you. Thanks. Oh, hang on one second. Oh, it's 1:30. Yeah. All right, hang on. I got another people. I'll be right back. What's up? All right, let's see if we can save this windshield here really quick, or if we have to redo it. That would suck. Great. So, you know what I said, the stressful part about tinting? There's this little squiggly right there, so that's not great. But it hasn't been sitting on here long, and it's relatively cool in here. So if we ever had a shot to save it, where is it? It's right there. Now would be the time. Because you ain't getting that out earlier. I think the worst part is, like, I can't hardly see it when I peel it. But when the light hits it just right, you'll be able to see it. So let's figure this out here. It's right there. Why can't I find this? That is so annoying. If it was like a bigger hair, it'd be really easy to touch up. When you got a thinner one, eesh. Yeah, that's right there. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, yep, there it is. I don't wish the bad on anybody, but I want you to redo it so we can enjoy more work. Well, screw you, but thank you. That's awfully nice of you. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. Okay, let's hope. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Because if we got the rest of this clean, then we're good. We're golden on this. PPF. I don't know how they were 2200 on a mid-size SUV. Yep, sounds about right. PPF is, look at it this way. PPF on an average car, you're right, it doesn't really make much sense. So it's not as much for you. But yeah, it's more for unique cars that people want to protect. Dang, I think we got a little guy right there. I think we moved it. So if you just want to protect like an edge, yeah, you're wasting some money for the most part. You'll trade that thing in a couple years, or, you know, with family vehicles, maybe unique edge cases like that where you want to keep it around for like a very long time. So on like on my Explorer, doing something less expensive that doesn't include the full bumper would have made a lot of sense, because my hood chipped up a whole bunch, and then the whole thing corroded, and the paint started flaking off. So it wouldn't have been very much to just put some PPF over the front of it. But if you want to do like the whole front end, which is what a lot of shops will talk to you about, that's where it gets like dumb expensive. Why? What is that? I think it was the hair from before, it just moved. I thought we were good. I'm so confused right now. I don't think that's a pinch in the film. I think there's something actually there, but I am having a hell of a time trying to find it. Wrap is the same, and you get an exotic color too. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's right here. Yeah, it's... Yeah, but what if people like the color of their paint? They don't want an exotic color. They just want to protect what they have there. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Healing powers too. Yep. PPF is thicker. It's an interesting discussion. Totally an interesting discussion. So yeah, PPF is more expensive. I think it's more difficult too. But it is a thicker layer. So it typically will protect the paint better. But that being said, like if you have a brick hit your car, it's still gonna get dented and it's still gonna get beat up and stuff. But vinyl will definitely protect like surface stuff pretty well. But yeah, just different options. People still charge a lot for a full vinyl job too. I've done PPF and I've done just a little bit of vinyl. Oh my god. Come on now. Would this thing just go die? I hate doing this. Why? It's like, I swear I'm just gonna rip this whole thing off and start over, but it's still fine. It's clean. It just, I keep having to like peel it back and get this hair out like 2 inches farther every time I go to push this thing out. It's driving me nuts. So it's like right here now, which is not great. It's hard to see and get to at that point. Small hairs, they're the worst. Slightly bigger one, you could feel it. This one, it's like damn near invisible. And it's in a spot that's really kind of tough to get to. And it's on the driver's side. Yep. Use tape. Tape on the adhesive doesn't sound smart to me. It's not like on the glass. It's like, I just can't believe I can't feel this fucker. So once I can, then I can kind of brush it out. Just hate doing this over and over. I just want it to be done with one way or another. You get it? Thank God. Alright, we're good. Maybe. As long as the rest of this stuff is still okay. Whoosh! Yay! Thank God. So, yeah, sometimes it goes well, and then sometimes you just have something that you gotta work out for a little bit. That was not fun. If that was in the middle of the windshield, it would have been over. It would have been, you're not saving it. It was in a slightly more salvageable spot, but it was real small. When you have something that's like really thin, what happens is you still can see it, but then it works itself into the glue. And then it's like, you can't really feel it. You can't really see it. And it's just gonna be a headache. No, it's fine. It's a Chevy, it's not a Chrysler. It's all good. We still use towels and stuff to help protect it, but so we have a little finger there that needs to be pressed out. Yeah, the harder it is, the more stuff that you have to peel back to get it to like a reasonable state, the more chance of just everything going wrong. And if I had less space to work with, then it would just be a huge bummer. Because then you're kind of screwed at that point. Ow, funny bone. Funny bone, not funny. Nice. One of my favorite spots. My favorite tools for really soft touch-ups. Favorite tool for touch-up, one of them, is a card like this. These little nubs right here, they have like the best pressure. They're awesome for soft touch-ups, where you can smooth something out without putting like a distortion in the film. Because when you use like a harder card or like a tri-edge or something, you can put little impressions in the film, so it depends on where those touch-ups happen. Something like a windshield, especially, just be real careful with it. Go soft, take your time with some extra heat, and you should be good to go. Nice. Whew. Now, the other question is how much time could we have saved if we just redid the whole thing? It probably would have been, this was faster, but like when you start doing touch-ups for that long, you start to question those things, because you could easily spend 15, 20 minutes on a touch-up, and you should have just ripped it off and just start over from the beginning. And it's more painful to do it that way. But it's the harsh reality. I'll still find myself trying to save something for like a stupid amount of time when I should have just ripped it off and redo it. So I try to just do that first. What's your opinion on flat? No. I don't use it. I talk about Lexan more than I talk about that. So we're still gonna be in time. Look at that, 1:43. We're still in time for our 2 o'clock appointment, but they dropped it off already. They're doing carbon on a Lincoln Continental. We're doing 15 in the back and 20 in the front. So I did say there's not gonna be much of a difference there, but they want to do it. All good with that. Cool. That's ceramic air 70%. I don't think I've ever used that one, but 70% is cool. Hang on, let me clean this up a little bit. I gotta find a plastic bit that I might have put somewhere and then forgot I put it somewhere. Just a little extra connector part for that. So, got distracted. clean this up. What kind of tint should I buy? Because I did my own shield, but it was the Napa one. And then what should I put for my first Geo order? For your first Geo order, I don't know. I mean, I just order Pro Classic, Carbon, and Ceramic. So, I mean, if I didn't have some of them, I'd just get all of those ones. But if you're just picking one to start out with, I mean, I don't know, Pro Classic. Carbon, I think, is a little bit easier to install, or slides a little bit easier, but it costs more money. So if like practicing is in mind, then I don't know. I'm so used to starting with like a color stable dyed. All right, where do we put ya? God, I'd hate to lose that piece. It's gonna be harder than Windshield. Where'd it go? Did we toss it back or did we set it on something? Chat. Help. So we have this real simple thing here. So these things were there. I took the mirror off and then, or do I have it on here? No, I don't. I need one little plastic bracket. It's hiding on me somewhere. We'll find it. It'll be all good. So you plug that in, do that, and it's just a little cover for up there. That's all I'm missing. I set it down here, and then I flip this up, but what I don't remember is where I put that piece exactly. So we'll find it, even if I have to go back through some footage. Have you ever used Lexan? Yes. I'm just tired of talking about them right now. I've talked about them so many times. Just make sure I don't have it. That's where my scatterbrainness is. Look under the front seats in the black hole. What's the black hole? Oh, there we go. Ha ha. Yeah, we flipped it under. All right, we're good. I didn't think it fell on the floor, but that one was back there. I know we put the mirror back there, but didn't remember where that. So we just set that on the seat right there. Okay, we're good. We found it. No problem. So what's left? Put the center headrest back in, because that was the one that we took out. Make sure this is all wiped down. I think we have to wipe off the back window on the outside. And then I think we'll be good. Ooh. A little over 3 hours. Sounds about right. Yeah, with full windshield. I mean, it's as simple as that. Usually when we do a full windshield, it gets to 3 hours, but I think we would have had it done a little quicker. We just had a hang up on the windshield that we had to take care of. And that is how you can easily fall behind. But I wasn't about to leave that there. It's inexcusable. It was hard to see, but you would have definitely noticed it. So now it's gone. So it looks much better. Yay! I got one small little finger that popped up though. So let's get that bottom lay down. So yeah, this is especially why I'm not going to stream a Lincoln. Being able to take the headset off and just tint something, it's works better. Or it like just feels less exhausting. But yeah, so I had this Porsche 928 last week. I didn't do it on stream because I wasn't sure about the doors entirely. It all got done and it all looked really, really good, thankfully. But it's one of those cars where I just need to take some time and figure it out as I go. If I had another one, I'd probably do it on stream, but definitely took a while. $200 an hour. Sounds pretty good. Sweet. We good? Yeah, this looks nice. All right, now we can appreciate it. We put the keys somewhere where we're not going to lock the keys in the car. Or are they sitting in that little cup holder thing? Did we lose the keys too? No, we didn't. There we go. All right. I don't shut the car unless I'm physically holding the keys. Too paranoid about locking them in, even though I don't even know if I could lock them in if I tried on this one. I'm sure as hell not going to try and find out. Dang, dude. All right. Is it? Okay, right about there. Cool. So that is ceramic, 35 on the windshield, 20 on the front doors, and then 5 over factory on the back. So when you are standing at like face level, like right here, you're going to be able to see through a little bit. That's what 20 does, but it's very, very functional. So from most angles, it's going to look real dark. I like that a lot. 35, super nice to drive with. 20, super nice to drive with. And then just that back is completely like blacked out. Cool. Give you guys a little walk around. Well, that was fun. It was a long stream. But 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, yep, about 4 hours. That's what I told them. So all good. That all worked out. I didn't feel rushed or anything. And everything went well. Neat. So now we have to shout out some super chats here. No. Because there was quite a few today. Activity feed. Oh, that one was the last one. I don't know if I shouted you out very much. Groove 70. Wow, that'll startle you when you least expect it. It's very quiet here. Jose!
Jose78 Rios super chatted $4.99. All have good and blessed weekend. My wife is watching me.
You have a good weekend too, man. Stay safe. Thank you so much for the 5. It still startles me. It's just... So if I expect it, they're a lot of fun. If I don't expect them, whoa. All right, so super chats. Thank you, Jose. Groove77, who said, I've learned a lot from you. Thanks. That was when we had the problems with the windshield. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. Jose, hey man, nice shot. Hey man, nice shot. Hey man, nice shot. Hey man, nice shot. 4 super chats. Clash. Hey man, nice shot. God, that's a fun name to just say over and over again. Washington, Shane, Ken, Daniel, Nick, and Swole Gang. Thank you guys so much for all the supers today. I appreciate all the support. And we will be back probably Monday. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure Monday. So I got another car I got to go do. I might record just pulling the seals and talking about that a little bit for a video, but I'm not streaming it. I'm going to just chill and tint something and then go home. So you all have a good one. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you Monday. Thank you for the support. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.